Ballad of Fallen Angels stands as one of anime's most perfect episodes, masterfully weaving together Spike's past, present action, and thematic depth into a flawless 22-minute experience that defines what Cowboy Bebop represents. The episode perfectly balances multiple narrative elements, introducing Vicious and Julia while advancing the main plot, delivering spectacular action sequences, and providing crucial character development for Spike without feeling overstuffed or rushed. The cathedral setting creates an atmosphere that's both beautiful and ominous, with the stained glass windows and religious imagery reinforcing themes about redemption, fate, and the weight of past sins that haunt the characters. Spike's fall from the cathedral window becomes one of anime's most iconic moments, combining stunning visual poetry with narrative significance as he literally and metaphorically falls from grace while confronting his past. The jazz soundtrack perfectly complements every scene, with Greenbird becoming one of anime's most memorable pieces of music that enhances the emotional resonance without overwhelming the storytelling. The episode works perfectly as both a standalone story for new viewers and a crucial piece of the larger Cowboy Bebop narrative, demonstrating how episodic structure can serve overarching character development. Every element serves a story. The pacing, cinematography, voice acting, and music all work in perfect harmony to create an experience that feels cinematic in scope while remaining intimate in emotional impact. Ghost in the Shell, standalone complexes in the forest of the Subimagos, represents cyberpunk storytelling at its absolute peak, combining philosophical depth with technical brilliance and emotional resonance in ways that define the genre. The episode explores questions of identity, consciousness, and what makes someone human through the story of a cyborg who may or may not retain memories of being human, creating genuine philosophical complexity. The investigation structure allows viewers to discover information alongside the characters, creating engagement that goes beyond passive viewing, as each revelation adds layers to the central mystery. The animation seamlessly blends traditional and CGI techniques to create a visual style that feels both futuristic and grounded, with technical details that enhance rather than overwhelm the human story. Motoko's character development shines as she confronts questions about her own humanity while investigating someone facing similar existential doubts, creating perfect thematic resonance between plot and character. The episode's conclusion avoids easy answers, instead leaving viewers with lingering questions about consciousness and identity that continue to resonate long after viewing. The cyberpunk elements serve the story rather than dominating it, with technology enhancing the philosophical themes rather than becoming mere spectacle or exposition. Berserk's Eclipse episode represents one of anime's most devastating and perfectly executed narrative climaxes, combining horror, betrayal, and tragedy into an experience that redefines everything viewers thought they knew about the series. The episode's pacing is masterful, building tension through the supernatural elements while maintaining focus on the emotional core, Griffith's choice and its impact on everyone who trusted him. The horror elements work because they serve the story's themes about ambition, sacrifice, and the cost of power rather than existing for shock value alone, creating genuine emotional devastation. Guts and Casca's helplessness in the face of supernatural forces they can't comprehend creates visceral tension while reinforcing the series' themes about struggling against impossible odds. The animation brings Kentaro Miura's artwork to life with faithful detail that captures both the beauty and horror of the Eclipse sequence, respecting the source material while enhancing it through motion and sound. Griffith's transformation into Femta represents the perfect culmination of his character arc, with every previous episode building toward this moment of ultimate betrayal that feels both shocking and inevitable. The episode's ending leaves viewers emotionally devastated while setting up future storylines perfectly, creating a conclusion that satisfies narrative needs while demanding continuation. While technically American animation, Zuko alone deserves inclusion for its perfect character study that rivals the best anime storytelling, demonstrating how flashback structure can enhance present narrative. The episode uses flashbacks to Zuko's childhood to recontextualize his entire character arc, revealing the origins of his scar and his relationship with his family in ways that add depth to every previous appearance. The Western-inspired setting and tone create a unique atmosphere that feels fresh, while serving the story's themes about identity, honor, and finding your place in the world. Zuko's interaction with the Earth Kingdom family provides a perfect microcosm of the larger conflicts in the series, allowing personal stakes to represent broader political and moral themes. The revelation of Zuko's identity and the family's rejection creates genuine emotional impact, because the episode has invested time in making viewers care about both sides of the conflict. The fight sequences serve character development rather than action for its own sake, with each moment of combat revealing something new about Zuko's skills, restraint, and internal struggles. The episode works perfectly as a standalone story while advancing Zuko's overall character arc, demonstrating how individual episodes can serve both episodic and serialized storytelling needs. Monster's final confrontation between Dr. Tenma and Johan represents psychological thriller anime at its absolute peak, bringing together years of careful character development and thematic exploration into a perfect climax. The episode's hospital setting creates intimate atmosphere that contrasts with the epic scope of the moral and philosophical questions being explored, making abstract concepts feel personal and immediate. Johan's final manipulation attempts showcase Naoki Urasawa's understanding of human psychology, with each argument feeling genuinely compelling while remaining fundamentally twisted and evil. Tenma's choice to save Johan, even after everything he's done, represents the perfect culmination of the series' themes about the value of human life and the responsibility of those who heal. The episode avoids easy answers about good and evil, instead presenting complex moral scenarios that force viewers to confront their own beliefs about justice, mercy, and human nature. The pacing allows each emotional beat to resonate fully, with silence and subtle animation enhancing the psychological tension more effectively than dramatic action would. The resolution feels both satisfying and realistic, providing closure while acknowledging that some questions about human nature can never be fully answered. Cowboy Bebop's finale represents one of anime's most perfect conclusions, bringing together all the series' themes about past, regret, and moving forward into a climax that feels both inevitable and heartbreaking. Spike's final confrontation with Vicious serves as the perfect conclusion to his character arc, with their battle representing not just physical conflict, but the resolution of everything that has haunted Spike throughout the series. The episode's structure, intercutting between different characters' fates, creates a sense of finality that encompasses the entire crew while maintaining focus on Spike's personal journey. The use of blue during the climactic scenes creates perfect emotional resonance, with Yoko Kanno's composition enhancing every moment without overwhelming the storytelling. Spike's final words and gesture have become iconic, not through spectacle, but through perfect character consistency. His ending feels true to everything we've learned about him. The episode avoids explaining everything explicitly, instead trusting viewers to understand the emotional and thematic conclusions while leaving room for personal interpretation. The visual poetry of the final scenes, particularly Spike's fall and the star imagery, creates lasting images that enhance the series' themes about fate, choice, and acceptance. Despite SAO's reputation for inconsistent quality, Mother's Rosario represents anime at its most emotionally powerful, using virtual reality concepts to explore real themes about mortality, friendship, and legacy. Yuki's story about using VR to connect with the outside world while battling terminal illness transforms the series' game mechanics into meaningful metaphors for human connection and finding purpose. The episode's handling of terminal illness avoids both sentimentality and cynicism, instead presenting Yuki's situation with honesty that respects both her strength and vulnerability. Asuna's character development, as she learns from Yuki's example, provides perfect emotional grounding, showing how encountering courage can inspire us to live more fully. The virtual reality setting becomes thematically relevant rather than mere spectacle, with the game world representing possibility and connection that transcends physical limitations. The final duel between Asuna and Yuki serves as both exciting action and emotional climax, with the combat mechanics representing the deeper connection forming between the characters. The episode's conclusion provides genuine catharsis, while setting up future character development, proving that even flawed series can achieve moments of absolute perfection. Hunter X Hunter's This Person X and X This Moment represents the perfect culmination of the Chimera Ant arc, combining action, character development, and thematic depth into an experience that redefines what shonen anime can achieve. Meruem and Komugi's final scene together transcends typical action anime conclusions, finding profound beauty and meaning in the connection between two fundamentally different beings. The episode's exploration of what makes someone worthy of respect or love challenges typical shonen values, suggesting that strength alone doesn't determine worth or meaning. Gon's absence from the climax allows other characters to complete their arcs naturally, demonstrating confident storytelling that prioritizes thematic resolution over protagonist focus. The animation brings subtle emotional beats to life through careful character acting, with small gestures and expressions carrying more weight than elaborate action sequences. The use of silence and pacing creates space for emotional resonance, allowing viewers to process the philosophical implications of what they're witnessing. The episode provides perfect closure for Meruem's character arc, while leaving larger questions about humanity and morality for viewers to contemplate. While technically a film, Spirited Away deserves inclusion as a perfect single narrative experience that showcases everything anime can achieve in terms of imagination, character development, and thematic depth. Chihiro's transformation from sullen child to capable young woman feels completely natural and earned, with each challenge building her confidence and competence in believable ways. The spirit world creation demonstrates world building at its finest, with every creature and location feeling both fantastical and logically consistent within the established rules. The environmental themes woven throughout the narrative feel organic rather than preachy, with the river spirit sequence providing both spectacular visuals and meaningful commentary. The film's pacing allows each sequence to breathe while maintaining forward momentum, creating a viewing experience that feels both epic and intimate. The character animation brings subtle emotions to life through detailed facial expressions and body language that enhance the voice acting perfectly. The themes about growing up, finding inner strength, and respecting others resonate across cultural boundaries while remaining specifically Japanese in cultural details. Satoshi Kon's Perfect Blue represents psychological horror anime at its absolute peak, creating a viewing experience that challenges perception and reality in ways that remain influential decades later. The film's structure mirrors its themes about fractured identity and media manipulation, with editing and visual techniques that make viewers question what's real alongside the protagonist. Mima's psychological breakdown is portrayed with unflinching honesty that avoids exploiting mental illness for entertainment while creating genuine tension and sympathy. The animation uses visual metaphors and symbolic imagery to represent internal states, demonstrating how anime can convey complex psychological concepts through purely visual means. The themes about celebrity culture, fan obsession, and media manipulation feel more relevant than ever, proving the film's prescient understanding of modern social issues. The horror elements serve the psychological story rather than existing for shock value, with each disturbing moment advancing understanding of the character's mental states. The conclusion provides resolution while maintaining ambiguity about perception and reality, leaving viewers with lasting questions about identity and authenticity. Brotherhood's climactic episode represents shonen anime storytelling at its most sophisticated, bringing together dozens of character arcs and thematic elements into a perfectly orchestrated finale. The episode balances massive scope with intimate character moments, ensuring that each character's contribution feels meaningful and necessary to the overall victory. The resolution of the homunculi conflicts provides both spectacular action and thematic satisfaction, with each villain's defeat reflecting the philosophical principles they opposed. Edward's final choice to sacrifice his alchemy demonstrates perfect character growth, showing how he's learned to value human connections over power and knowledge. The animation quality remains consistently high throughout complex action sequences, while never losing focus on the emotional stakes that drive each conflict. The episode provides closure for every major character arc while maintaining the series' themes about equivalent exchange, sacrifice, and the cost of power. The conclusion feels both epic and personal, proving that shonen anime can achieve sophisticated storytelling without sacrificing excitement or emotional impact. Makoto Shinkai's Your Name represents modern anime filmmaking at its most accomplished, combining stunning visuals with emotional storytelling that transcends cultural boundaries. The body swapping concept is used to explore themes about connection, identity, and finding meaning in relationships that feel both fantastical and deeply human. The animation showcases both urban and rural Japan with incredible detail that serves the story's themes about tradition, modernization, and finding your place in the world. The time manipulation elements create genuine tension and emotional stakes while remaining comprehensible, demonstrating how supernatural concepts can enhance rather than complicate storytelling. The climactic sequence on the crater rim represents visual and emotional poetry, with the twilight setting creating perfect atmosphere for the story's romantic and spiritual themes. The film's exploration of memory, dreams, and connection resonates across cultural boundaries while remaining specifically Japanese in its cultural details and spiritual concepts. The conclusion provides both romantic satisfaction and thematic resolution, proving that anime can achieve mainstream appeal without sacrificing artistic integrity or emotional depth.